We are just 1 week away from the return of Georges StPierre at UFC 217 on November 4th, live on pay-per-view PPV from inside Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York, as the former UFC welterweight king takes on current middleweight champion Michael Bisping. While most people figured GSP would one day return to the octagon after calling it quits nearly 4 years ago, few imagined the Canadian superstar coming back and competing at 185 pounds. After all, StPierre dominated the welterweight division during his prime and would now encounter a completely new set of contenders, including current champion Tyron Woodley. Regardless of what GSP should have done, the 36-year-old has decided to pack on extra muscle and journey up to 185 pounds to take on a fairly big middleweight in the count. It's a decision that has many in the mixed martial arts MMA community confused, especially StPierre's longtime mentor, Christophe Midu. "I do not agree with this return and I do not know who managed to convince him," Midu recently told UFC veteran Patrick Cote on the Uppercut podcast, translated from French via Le Journal de Montréal. "I do not see the objective surrounding this fight. Moreover, when I see Georges' eyes, they do not tell me anything good," Midu added. During his face-to-face with Bisping in Las Vegas, "I would have liked him to give a slap to Bisping to show him what was waiting for him on November 4th. The guys who have their hands in their pockets like George did, they do not feel like fighting. You have to have the urge and the rage to do it." Interesting to say the least. People who are closer to GSP probably have a better grasp as to why the former UFC king is deciding to come back at this point in time and in this fashion, so it's fascinating to hear their side. "I think he needs help and I think the people around him are hiding things from him," Midu said. "I witnessed his sparring and I did not see what I wanted to see from him." If Midu is telling the truth and not trying to throw Bisping off with his negative feedback, then StPierre may be in trouble at UFC 217. Bisping is one of the more offensive champions in the sport today, so going against him at less than 100%, both mentally and preparation-wise, could spell immediate disaster. That said, GSP has always prepared for his fights to the best of his ability. And since he's moving up in weight to fight for the middleweight title in his first fight in 4 years, you better believe he took the time to properly think it through. At least he should have. For more UFC 217 fight card news, click here.